Right, Sean, Katie, Sean. Assassin's Creed. We're coming to the end, believe it or not. This will be the last part 3.
Isn't there a new game coming out?
Yes, there is. And I plan on playing it when it comes out. Already bought, paid for, ready.
Okay.
But we are coming to the end. Do you remember that's the question. Do you remember the names of the assassins that you've met so far?
No.
If you start at the beginning, you don't have to tell me you don't have to tell me the whole names. I would be impressed if you could tell me the whole names, but
I can't remember the whole names.
So the first one, Geezer and Masyaf, the first assassin.
I really can't remember. It's really bad that I can't remember, but it's...
Don't remember his name?
No.
Begins with an A.
Altair?
Yeah, Altair, yeah. It's Altair Ibn Ahad. That's his name.
Okay.
Try and remember that next time.
I'm just impressed with myself that I can remember that.
Next one?
It begins with an E, doesn't it? Is it? It was my favourite one as well. S? L?
No, you were sort of close with S.
Is it L?
No. There's no L. There's no L in his entire name.
S.
Ezio.
Ezio
Auditore.
Okay.
Next one. So he was in 3 games. The one after that?
Which?
Assassin's Creed 3. American Revolution.
Oh, well, you could give me like 3 names or something on that one.
No, he's got 2 names.
Oh yeah, but then it links to this other one.
If you could tell me his Native American one, then I would be very impressed.
Isn't it not like Connor?
Connor Kenway, yeah, that's his name.
Yeah, and his
Native American name is Ragun Hagedun.
Yeah, I just remember Connor because it's the easiest one.
Yeah.
His dad has like a...
You never saw his dad in the trailer?
No, but you told me his dad's name. Do I have to remember that?
No.
Okay.
Hatham was his dad's name.
Yeah.
4, Black Flag, Connor's granddad.
He was the pirate, wasn't he?
You're not doing very well.
I know. It's hard. I can't remember. What does it start
Edward.
with? Oh, Edward. That's not very piratey name,
Do you
is
remember
it?
the name of his first mate who had his own game?
No. They're the newer ones. I don't really...
Adewale, yeah. What was his name? What about France?
I don't remember that either.
Arno Dorian. What was his name?
Okay.
My word, he did rubbish there.
The thing is, we did the first one, and then when we started the second video, I didn't remember their names, but then you told me them all again. I just need...
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Memory.
Thing is, as well, is that Altair is always remembered as the first one. Ezio is always remembered because he's almost everybody's favourite assassin. But then you get to sort of Connor. Connor's not as cool as Hatham. Hatham's not as cool as Edward. That's how those 3 are generally remembered. And Arno, I'm sorry for the people that commented that Unity gets a lot of hate because it has a poor-ish story, but it's not very good. That's all I can say.
Was that the French one?
Yeah. But this is the next round, part 3, I think. Let's hope this is all of them. It's only 15 minutes. So yeah, let's watch.
Rogue.
Yeah, skip that bit. Any
So
ideas?
we're in London.
Mm-hmm.
I'd expect a swift slap across the face if I didn't know that.
Uh-huh. These headphones might be broken.
$1868. That's for the day that it said London 1868.
Mm-hmm. Hurry up! They're all proper cockneys. But they are in London, so that's...
Oh. Well, he can be more obvious, could he? He's wearing the good thing.
Yeah.
Are these the assassins? Oh, okay, good. I thought he was just wearing that hat the entire time. Like, that's a bit stupid, isn't it?
Do you know the time period? If it's what year did you say?
1868.
Yeah. Do you know when it is? Generally.
Industrial Revolution.
That's right. Yeah. Well done. You know history. Indeed, it is.
Kill the horses, not the horses. Oh,
Straight into the Thames.
I don't care about that person. I only care about the horses. No.
Any ideas what kind of people you could meet in the Industrial Revolution? The age of invention and child labour.
The age of invention and child labour. Oh, he set him on fire.
Uh-huh.
Oh, and he's stringing him up. The heck is that?
No
Like prongs
idea.
or something.
Oh. Well. Oh. Thanks for interrupting. The Thistle and Crown.
I don't know who you would meet in this time.
Alexander Graham Bell.
Oh, you met him.
Mm-hmm. I can't remember who the other ones are. Quite a long trailer, isn't it?
Yeah. So it's called Jacob.
Jacob. Jacob Frye.
Are the crows meant to be like their eagles?
No idea.
A lot of crows.
I don't think so. Have you figured out the general thing yet?
The general thing.
Yeah. What his gimmick is?
His general thing, what is he, like a mafia or something?
Sort of, yeah. He's basically a gangster.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, gangsters, what they were called, yeah.
Yeah. Oh my. I don't think I ever saw this trailer. I didn't. I mustn't have watched much of these trailers because they're doing an injustice to one of the characters.
Who, him?
No. I'm trying to remember his name. If it's him. I'm gonna have to mute this entire thing again.
Oh, that was another one. Was that a woman? A woman assassin.
Yes. So the thing that it sort of does an injustice to. So that's Jacob Frye.
Mm-hmm.
That is he. But the game actually centres around two assassins. One being Jacob Frye, the other being his twin sister, Evie Frye. And basically what they do is they liberate London from the Templars. From the head Templar called, I think his name is Crawford Starrick. One of the most ridiculous English names. Yeah. So if you had to take a guess just off the trailers, where would you guess that this one is rated compared to the other ones? Bear in mind it was what, 1868 you said?
1868, yeah.
So it's really close. I think it's the closest of all the games to modern times.
Probably not the highest, maybe like in the middle, because it doesn't really say, from what the trailer doesn't really say that there's any kind of new technology or anything.
Mm-hmm.
Aside from like all the trains and stuff.
And
but
grapple.
The grapple, yeah. So I imagine it's probably more story based and people prefer that. So maybe like middle, like not bad, but
yeah,
not the best of the games.
Yeah. So just to give you a quick rundown, I'll tell you the correct answer in a minute. You were wrong, by the way. Yeah. Edward Frye is basically a gangster. He wants to have his own gang.
Okay.
Because the Templars have their gangs who are called the Blighters, I think.
You can tell because he's got knuckle dusters.
Uh-huh. And he has his gang called the Rooks, and they essentially wage gang warfare over London. Evie is more your traditional assassin. She sort of goes after the Templars in a sort of mapped out way, all leading up to Crawford Starrick.
Right. Am I going to presume that she was the favoured out of the two?
I can't remember who was the favourite. I imagine it was probably Jacob. Because he was a bit... Right, okay, so just to answer the question that I have, this is generally regarded as the worst game. Primarily because it's a lot closer to modern times. Technology is a lot better.
Right.
You know, they have like guns and stuff. While the other games had sort of guns, you could limit it because they had the constant,
like the muskets,
really
and
long
stuff.
reload time.
Yeah.
But like a revolver doesn't, well, as far as I know, it doesn't take that long to reload. And the mechanics, the fight mechanics were all different, and it was a bit, and it was a bit dull. And also they made a gigantic map that broke all the time.
Yeah.
The game just broke all the time.
Yeah.
And it's proper stereotypical England.
Yeah. Like, I guessed as much, yeah.
With it being in London, you know, everyone's sort of like, oh, they're either jolly good show, chaps. All the bad guys are like, oh, jolly good show. Oh yes, well done. Oh, pardon me, you.
And all like the ruffians are like Cockney.
Yeah, proper Cockneys. Yeah.
So I was wrong.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not considered a great one, but you know, it did have quite a good, as far as I can remember, it had quite a good DLC where you basically hunt down Jack the Ripper and get killed by him as well. Spoilers.
Fun times.
Spoilers, but Jacob does get killed by Jack the Ripper, and it's revealed that Jack the Ripper is actually an assassin who's sort of gone rogue.
Interesting.
Yeah. Weird.
Mm-hmm.
It's very weird. But yeah, let's move on to the next one. Oh yeah, the other thing is that the really good thing about them is that they basically they do free loads of kids from child labour.
It seemed like that's what they were going for, yeah.
But you know, it's still Assassin's Creed sort of. Playing it again now. What is this?
I don't see any white hoods.
No.
Also, I just want the white hoods back.
Yeah.
Like, am I like...
They weren't terrible suits, but it got to the point where almost every game
had a different colour suit.
No, like if you pre-ordered them, you got all of the old Assassin's Creed suits So you could be Jacob in Ezio's outfit, because Ezio's outfit was better than Jacob's outfit. A bit pants.
Egypt.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Why is there a man rhyming in my ear?
To set the tone. Yep. You're getting mummified, yep.
Lovely. Lovely. Oh.
Alright. Yeah.
Romance?
Mm-hmm.
So, was that Cleopatra that we saw earlier?
Which
so
would
this
mean
is
that
Caesar, Julius Caesar.
Julius Caesar, yeah. That's not Julius Caesar.
I know, yeah, I know that's not Julius Caesar.
The guy you saw that was Roman was Julius
Yeah,
Caesar.
Yeah. Oh. Oh. That's a very open suit.
Mm-hmm.
Not very much protection.
That was pretty cool.
Shot it out with his foot.
Mm-hmm.
With his foot. Yeah.
Is this still...
Looks like it.
Yeah. Oh dear. So this was when the game really changed, and a lot of people didn't like it.
Right. It says origin, so is this meant to be like the
Beginning of the Assassins, yeah.
Okay.
I don't think they're called Assassins at this point. I think they're called something like the Hidden Ones. Oh no, they're Magi at this point. They're just the Magi. The bad guys are the Hidden Ones. Sort of early stage Templars. Thanos has obviously been about it, hasn't he?
Yeah.
It's very dramatic.
Walking off into the dust.
Mm-hmm. As you can imagine, there's a rather large desert region in this.
Yes.
That's strange. It's a missed out one. Yeah, so Assassin's Creed Origins is when it really changed. Not just in terms of story, because they stopped referring to themselves as assassins at this point. They were Magi, like who were the guardians of the pharaohs. And basically the entire game changed. So it was less about stealth and more about fighting.
Okay.
And there was also like the leveling up, like you couldn't fight someone who was completely like out of your level. Whereas before, if you were relatively good enough, you could take on most things, most people you could kill.
Oh, you've got to like achieve the level before you can get.
And it's sort of like, do you know Dark Souls?
No.
Okay. Basically, it's one of those games where it's more about like sort of blocking and dodging, attacking at the right time. Whereas before, all the games were more like stealth based. It was all being secretive and whatnot. Some fans liked it, some fans hated it. The ones that hated it were primarily hating it because it was like, well, it's not an Assassin's Creed game. It's it's just a Dark Souls game, which is what it's referred to, that type of game. But the assassin you saw in it was called Bayek.
Bayek.
Yeah. And he's quite, he's not the worst assassin. He's quite cool. Has a bit of a trauma early on in the game. Goes on a bit of a rampage. It's quite cool. But this is the sort of, the reason it's called Origins is because it's essentially the beginning of the assassins, when they sort of, him and another person devote themselves to being assassins. Fighting these, like the masked men you saw, they were the bad ones. Good. So it's actually missed a game out on this one. It's not all cinematic CGI trailers, because by the looks of it, it's going straight onto Valhalla. But there was one between this one and Valhalla. There was one called Odyssey, which is Greece.
But it's missed out that one.
It's missed out that one. We might find it.
Damn.
We might not. But we'll move on to the last one in this video anyway.
I wonder what this one's going to be about. That was sarcasm. You said it was called Valhalla. I know what this is about.
Have you guessed yet?
It's a bit too difficult. We don't care about FIFA at the minute.
This isn't FIFA, it's FC 24.
Ugh.
Are you telling me you don't want to react to the FC 24 trailer?
No.
What's with all the bloody ambulances? Oh.
Are they real people? I can't talk there. They look like real people there.
No, they're not real people. It might be motion captured, but it's not real people.
Looks like real people. Ugh, right in the neck. Where's the hoods? You're telling me there's no hoods?
No, there is hoods.
Oh.
There's a lot of violence in this one. Oh, that guy got his leg chopped off.
Oh.
He took 2 spears.
Was that his brother? I assume.
No.
No. Just a good friend, maybe.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's just another Viking.
Oh, is that a hood? No.
It was, yeah.
Oh, it is.
But who was it?
Ugh.
Doesn't stop. Oh, he did not see that coming.
You're telling me he doesn't wear a hood?
Well, he doesn't. Doesn't for the majority of the game.
Then what's the point?
He does when you decide to.
When we first started watching these, my only knowledge of these games were hoods and haystacks. I saw no hoods, I saw no haystacks.
Well. So yeah, that was basically what you've just done is sum up how people felt about these games.
Glad, because what's the point?
From Origins to this one, so the 3 games, they were all, as I said before, Dark Souls games.
Okay.
The reason there was next to no hood there was because
Odin
Eivor
had
is...
the hood.
Yeah, Odin. But
I don't care
Eivor
about
does...
Odin.
That's Eivor, by the way. He does have a hood as well. He just doesn't use it all that much.
I can see what it looks to be a hood, but put your hood up, you savage.
But what were Vikings about? You're calling a Viking a savage.
I know, yeah.
I mean,
He's not wearing his hood.
So this is literally just a fighting game and a raiding game. You raid the coasts of England, monasteries and whatnot, raiding them all. You do forge sort of alliances with other sort of what they call Vikings in the other parts of the small area that you're fighting in. But apart from that, it wasn't great. It wasn't viewed as very great. Eivor's not all that great of a character. His sort of brother Sigurd is okay, but then he's sort of not okay because he's a bit rubbish. There's a lot of characters that were just a bit rubbish. There's a character called Basim in it, who's the actual assassin. At this point, he gives them the hidden blade that a lot of people took credence with, because the hidden blade should be there, but he wears it there. He's like, oh, it's a fine weapon. Why would I hide it? And it's like, well, never mind about being an assassin then. You know, just show the people that you're going to kill them. It's painful. But this game actually had 2 storylines again, where one of them was you were Eivor, the other one was you were Odin. Because they're essentially the same person. Eivor and Odin are the same people. And you fight with Thor, and you see Loki, and try to prevent Ragnarok.
I don't like it.
Yeah, this one wasn't rated very well either. But again, it's because the stealth part of it was almost completely taken out of it. Yeah.
I put your hood up. I don't. If it was just a Viking game,
Yeah.
then maybe. But why an Assassin's Creed game?
But this is why they've supposedly gone, we're leaving this, we're going back to what Assassin's Creed used to be.
Do they wear hoods?
Well, you're actually playing as Basim in the new one. Who's the assassin that Eivor meets in this one. But who is an actual assassin? He wears the actual gear.
He wears the hood.
He wears the gear, yeah.
I mean, I don't mind if it's like, oh, he's a Viking assassin and he has the fur and he wears the eye paint and stuff. That's fine, just have your hood up. Why?
Yeah. Wasn't well received. It was a massive game, and it was quite a good game, but it just wasn't an Assassin's Creed game.
I was sat here going, where is he? Where, you know what I mean? Like, where?
Yeah.
Where's the hood? I saw no hood. I thought they were going to say that Odin was the hood wearer and that was it.
No. Odin's just kind of appears every now and again in sort of premonitions that it was having. It's kind of like, well, okay, I guess.
Why do I care about this?
Yeah. Which is why they've turned around and they've gone back to what is supposed to be a stealth-based game, But in some of those trailers, it looks like he's got superpowers again, which is kind of like...
That's the thing, because it feels like all the other games, they picked historical like periods of time, and they kind of base a story around that about them contributing. But the past few and like the Origins one and this, it feels like they're going very like religious with it.
Yeah.
Then it's like hard to like because then it's like if you just have Odin turning up, who's like a god, how...
There is a sort of underlying story involving Odin and some of the others. Like Odin is one of the... Odin and Loki, I think it is, are both precursor beings of a civilization that came before. You know how I was saying about the pieces of Eden that they're hunting?
Mm-hmm.
They created them. And there was like a great apocalypse that destroyed them all. And then one of them is an apple of Eden. And Adam and Eve are also real. Yeah, weird, isn't it?
It's just, I feel like you start getting to a point of...
Also Atlantis.
I feel like you just start getting to a point of just ridiculousness, though, don't you?
Yeah.
Because I'm sure people, when they're playing it, they're like, oh, this is so cool, because, like... Obviously, people aren't stupid enough to believe that it, like...
Was real,
yeah. Like, actually happening, but... It can kind of take your imagination there, because it's... You are a part of, like, that period of time. Whereas this, it's hard to imagine just Odin and Thor, Loki turning up, and... There was also
an issue with these ones and Odyssey and Origins in that... By the way, you do also contribute quite massively to history and Origins. Obviously, you know what happens with Cleopatra and Caesar and all them. Mm-hmm. You do contribute to that.
What, do you kill Caesar?
Maybe.
Kill Caesar.
The cutscenes, there was no cutscenes. In the rest of the games, there are generally cutscenes.
To, like, further the story.
Yeah, with this, you just kind of stand there and you'd go, oh, hello. And nothing happens. And, like, that's how they talked to each other. And it's kind of like, well, you know, it's just a bit there.
Just you running around.
Yeah. But that was us watching Assassin's Creed. Let us know if you want us to do a part 4 where we react to Odyssey, because I imagine we'll have to react to Odyssey. And there's also Mirage, which is the one that's coming out soon. But I will not be able to tell you anything about that one. All I know is that it's set in Baghdad. And you play Basim, who was in this.
Okay.
But story-wise, I won't be able to tell you a thing until I've taken the full day to complete it. Which is generally how long I tend to devote to Assassin's Creed games. Don't sleep for a full day. Then I wonder why I have mental problems. Sleeping problems, psychological... Just all problems, you know. The weird thing is I haven't got any eye problems. I play way more video games than you, and I've got brilliant eyes.
I don't think it's like you've got brilliant eyes. I think it's just that you refuse to go get them tested because you're afraid of getting glasses.
True. Yeah, so let us know if you want us to watch Odyssey and Mirage. There is... I can't remember if there was another game that we might have missed. But it's not a very good game. So we don't really need to react to it. Then let us know some other video game trailers you want us to react to. I have got at least 2 that we can react to. But yeah, let us know. And like the video, subscribe. Ding the bell to be notified when we upload. We upload sort of every day. I haven't uploaded this week, past week, because it's been my birthday and I've had a week off. Even though I've got nothing to do during the day. Except sleep. But we are going to get back to uploading normally. Yeah, anything else you want to say?
I know you said the English one was worse. But in terms of the trailers, this one's worse. Because I haven't played the game, so I don't know. So I don't really think about that. I just look at the trailers. This one's worse. Because there's no HUD.
Just because of the no HUD?
Yeah.
You don't like the big fights or anything?
I thought it looked good if it was just a Viking game.
It is.
But it's not. There's no HUD. I've managed to overlook the fact there's been very little haystacks. since like the first one.
There's barely any haystacks in this one. It's more sort of
But I
just grass.
Yeah, just did he hide in the grass?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Basically, the developers went, "What's England really famous for? It's grass." So there's lots of shrubberies and whatnot that you can.
Not that we don't have hay in this country, but you know, yeah.
Practically invented hay.
Yeah.
So Valhalla is your least favourite of the trailers?
In the Assassin's Creed universe, yes. It might be a good game, but I just... You have the hood, why don't you wear it?
Well, someone did say they would like us to go through and play... Well, not us, you. Go through and play them.
I have to dedicate like 5 years of my life to that. It'll take a while.
It's only about a month of time.
For me, playing it.
Yeah, it's about 5 years. Yeah, true. But there's other much more hard games. If you were to start with Assassin's Creed 1 and then play through them, you'd get better progressively as you went through the games. You would just naturally. A bit like me. I could jump off a roof into a haystack now.
And you wonder why your limbs are leaving you.
True. You always say that at the end of the video. It's always the same. Thank you for watching.
I need to know.